Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into this edition of Warchant TV. He is Michael Langston, recruiting analyst for Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminole sports source. Promo code to join aforementioned website at the bottom of your screen. I'm Aslan Hajavandi. Thanks for joining us. How else can they support us here other than watching us and enjoying the content you're about to give them?
Click on the like button for us, guys, so we know it kind of keeps us going, keeps it plugging along, and keeps us providing all this great insight as far as what's going on with FSU recruiting and football.
There we go. All right. In the spirit of full disclosure, Michael wanted to do this last night on New Year's Eve. Your boy was kind of like, I'll catch up with you on the flip side of this. But big news on New Year's Eve 2020. We're all glad it's in our rear view, but Mike Norvell got a cool little shiny toy to end the 2020 year and look forward to 2021. Wide receiver, Andrew Parchment, transfer out of Kansas. Michael, how did this all sort of come about? Obviously a Florida product in high school, but how did Florida State target this kid and end up getting his services?
Well, I think it all started with the preached relationship with Ron Dugans. Went all the way back to when his high school years, because this kid is from South Florida, so he's from that area. I think Coach Dugans recruited him the first time. I think probably Dugans was at Miami at that time, or may have been at Miami, but I think the relationship all started there, and so he knew he wanted to come back to the state of Florida. Obviously, seeing what FSU's building and adding Mackenzie Milton and different things FSU's doing to change things, I think that was a team he wanted to be a part of, and he's always liked FSU, even as a young kid. Even though I hear Miami's like his favorite team, but FSU was always a team that he really, really liked. Certainly had a lot of attention from other schools. A lot of schools hit him up, but like I said, he wanted to stay in state. UCF and FSU were the main two schools. Even said at one point UCF led because, but then he said the more he talked with FSU, the more I think he felt like, hey, this is definitely going to be the best place for me. I think Mackenzie Milton had a big impact as far as on this, as we put in the story. I think obviously the conversations with Norvell and how he fits into this offense was a big deal. And to get a guy that has, coming off a 2019 season where he had over 800 yards and I think 7 touchdowns, that's a pretty big thing. That shows you when he has good quarterback play, this guy can deliver in a big way. Obviously last year the numbers are down because quarterback and offensive line struggles. It's hard to get him the ball. What can you do? I mean, the kid just wasn't getting the ball. So I think he comes in a situation where you have an elite quarterback, assuming that Milton's healthy. If Milton's healthy and he shows what he can do, I think this guy's going to be a special playmaker for FSU, and certainly one that all FSU fans should be excited about because it gives them experience in that locker room and that wide receiver room as far as and they desperately need that when you consider all the young guys they have.
Right. Originally from Fort Lauderdale, went to Cypress Bay High School, then ended up in JUCO, then at Kansas. Ultimately, we got the stats right there on the screen. You see the juxtaposition between 19 and 20, as you pointed out. Quarterback play suboptimal for him in Lawrence this past year. But when he does have a quarterback who's competent and able, he can put up some pretty good numbers. What sort of stands out from him when you're able to go back and watch some of his game footage, Mike?
Well, the one thing is I when I watch him, I like what he does as far as the tough catches. He's very patient with the ball. He knows how to shield his body really well on certain mid-range routes or even sideline routes. He does a good job of just making tough catches in tough situations, whether it's going up for the ball or if it's going across the middle, having to shield his body and get that in that first down. And then two, the one thing you'll notice about him is his speed. I mean, he has got some very good pull-away speed. Breakaway speed. I would say 4.4, 4.45, probably in that range. He runs. He can motor. I mean, his separation on the routes is also another thing that jumps out to me that I like is the way he gets away from routes. He doesn't he isn't always getting thrown the ball, but it's almost consistently. If you watch his routes, he's always open, or he's got a chance to even be a crease of being open. And then the thing you'd like to see better is probably I guess last year or even during the big year where he had 800 yards, there was a couple of drops. A lot of that was trying to make too many plays. sometimes when you see drops, it's it's either lack of focus or guys just trying to make a play before the play happens. So there's a few times since where I watched the film and I see a few things with that, but the one thing you're getting is an explosive playmaker. I like what he does as a blocker because I know Ron Dugans is going to love that because Dugans is very big on blocking. So he will add a lot to what you do as a blocker. But I think the biggest thing is going to be his ability to stretch the field, his ability to open up these other receivers and also open up the tight ends and the running game in this offense. He will greatly increase that as far as your offense. He automatically, even with him on the roster, he automatically gives your offense a big lift. And it's no secret, Mike Norvell was excited about this when Mike Norvell personally recruited this kid. So it tells you how badly they wanted him. And 6'3", 190, this kid can do a little bit of everything of what you want in this offense. But they needed an experienced guy that's kind of going to help here. You got a bunch of young guys. You got guys like Malik McClain. God willing, if everything goes as planned, you get Dustin Hill. You add those guys. Those are freshmen that can make plays, or can play early and start possibly, or at least get a lot of playing time. And then you have a guy like Parchment that can kind of lead these guys to the pond, so to speak. To help these young guys, learn some things. I think it's always a big deal to have a veteran in there that is already shown to be productive.
Okay. Michael, I don't know, what number are we at now? Is that 20?
Oh man, I haven't even kept track of numbers.
All right. Well, what do we think they've got left between now and February, just in terms of? I think most Florida State fans want to show a modicum of patience when it comes to getting this thing put on the right track, but ultimately sooner the better. So it feels like if you hit the portal, you probably put yourself in a better position for instant success. Do you think the staff is done with the portal, or are they still looking at it?
No, they're definitely not done with the portal. They would like an offensive tackle from the portal. I think they would like another defensive end in the portal, linebacker if they can. I think that's 3, and then they probably, it looks like running back is another area that they'd probably hit the portal. Maybe even defensive tackle. So you're talking about 5 spots. But here's the thing: you can say they're at 20, but you have, I think I have to add them up to be sure, but you have 5 or 6 early enrollees. So you can count those. You can roll those towards the 2022 class if your numbers get tight. As I was always told that they're going to oversign, so we'll see how that works. But I don't think numbers-wise they're too locked into that. I think it's just about filling these important needs. Like, I think the most important is getting another defensive end, and then getting an offensive tackle. I think if you do that, I think the rest you can maneuver your way around of whatever you're going to get. But I think those are 2 of the most important positions left is getting another defensive end and getting another offensive tackle, especially the offensive tackle, because if you get an offensive tackle, you've solidified both edges, and then you have 2 guys in Darius Washington and Robert Scott, who I think are more than capable of being really good reserves that can come in and help you or even compete for that job. So
Robert Scott's going to start, man. We're on the Robert Scott train over here.
There you go. I mean, either way, my point is you're going to have options. So if you get another grad transfer, that really solidifies that position.
Right. Yeah, we saw what happened once Devontae Love-Taylor went down because they didn't have enough depth at the tackle spot. So somebody helps out. That's 16 on your screen. That's high schoolers. So then you got Milton. You got our guy from Arkansas. You got Jermaine Johnson from Georgia. And then now you got Andrew Parchment. So that's 4 guys from the portal. So that puts them at 20 right now as we sit here on New Year's Day. But as Michael said, they're not done. And Michael's not done keeping track of things either. The Premium Recruiting Board, it's where he lives, he dwells, he thrives. Check out all of his great stuff over there. If you're not a member, use that promo code WARCHANT30 at the bottom of your screen. I know the next time one of these guys commits, you're going to let us know about it, Michael. We'll do another one of these, all right?
You got it, man. And, they got Jermaine Johnson the other day. That was the bigger surprise, linebacker / defensive end. I think it's more defensive end. So you're addressing your needs. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing so far. Really good edge guy. Got your star quarterback. Now you got your star receiver. Got an experienced DB in the secondary with McClellan. I think Norvell's pretty hot.
All right, there we go. He's Michael Amazon. Thanks for watching, everybody.